Okay, if you want to take your 5K time from 25 minutes, like mine was, to 60 minutes 40, massive progression, I'm going to lay out in this video the blueprint for you to be able to do that. And this is exactly the same method that I used from going from not being able to run 5 minutes for a kilometer to being able to run 25 minutes for 5K to then moving to 60 minutes 40. Exactly this. So let's say your starting point is 25 minutes for 5K. Great time, and it's a great starting point. You can hold 5 minutes per kilometer for 25 minutes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to implement kilometer repeats, and we're going to do 5 times a kilometer, 10% faster than you can currently hold pace for 5 kilometers. So we're going to run those kilometer repeats, 5 of them in 4:30 per kilometer with 60 seconds rest in between. So what we're doing is we're building volume, we're building 5 kilometers of volume, running at 10% faster than our current 5K pace. It's extremely important. And then what we want to do from that point is we want to implement a method 5, 6, 7. So if we can hold 4:30 per kilometer for 5 reps, it's likely, if pushed, we can run faster than 25 minutes for 5K. If we can do 6 times a kilometer, it's more likely that we can move towards 22 minutes 30 seconds. If we can do 7 of them, it's a lot of volume, 7 kilometers of volume with 60 seconds rest in between each one of those kilometer reps. It's very high chance that we can then hold 22:30 for 5K. So then immediately we've jumped forward 10%. Now, because we're in the beginning of our journey of implementing speed and implementing intervals, you're going to see rapid progress. And so we want to ride that wave. So going from 4:30 per kilometer, then we're going to add some kilometer repeats at 4:15 per kilometer. So we'll start with 5 times 1 kilometer, 60 seconds rest in between, always as a constant, and we're going to aim for 4:15 per kilometer. So back to back, 5 times a kilometer should be 21 minutes and 15 seconds of hard work. And again, if we can do 5 times a kilometer, it's likely we can do faster than 22:30 for 5K, but it's probably not likely yet we can do 21:15. If we can do 6 reps or 7 reps, it's more likely, especially with 7, that you can do towards 21:15. And then you're a completely different athlete to the person that you was just a few weeks ago when you were running 25 minutes for 5K. Now, it's not just a case of maths. We can all do 5 times 5 and get to 25 minutes for 5K, and we can all do 5 times 4 minutes and get to 20 minutes for 5K. It's not that easy in real life, but is it possible? Yeah, and absolutely, I've seen this happen within the last 8 weeks of people at the All-in-Run Club that started with 25 or 30 or 35 minutes for 5K and have moved forward massively because of their interval work, because they've taught their body to move forward effectively and efficiently over the ground at much faster paces. And so rather than going out and running pretty much the same pace in all of your runs, now we're starting to implement that skill of faster running, and we're making that work for us in our 5K running. Incredibly powerful. So the natural next step from there would be to try to do 5 times 1 kilometer at 4 minutes per kilometer. And so 5 times 4 minutes, 60 seconds rest in between, 5 times a kilometer should be towards our 20 minutes. And again, if we can do 5 of those, great. We're probably going to be faster than 21:15 for 5K. If you can do 6 reps, much more likely that we're towards 20 minutes, 6 times 4 minutes, or 6 times a kilometer in 4 minutes per kilometer, then it's much more likely we can hold 20 minutes for 5K. If you can do 7 of them, highly likely that you can do 5K in 20 minutes. Up to now, it's been pretty easy because once we've started with 25 minutes for 5K and we've implemented interval training, some speed training for the first time, we're going to ride those waves and get it working for us and become a different runner very, very quickly. And so going from 25 minutes to 20 minutes is actually quite easy, relatively speaking. The next stages are much more difficult. So what I'd want to do from there is implement exactly the same strategy, 5 reps of a kilometer, but aim for 350 per kilometer. So instead of trying to knock 10 seconds off our 5K PB, what we're trying to do instead is knock 10 seconds per kilometer. So each time we're knocking 50 seconds off our 5K time by running 350 per kilometer instead of 4 minutes per kilometer. So 5 reps of kilometer and 350, and getting to that point where it feels comfortable enough that we can add a 6th rep and then a 7th rep. And then we're confident that you can go out and run 5 kilometers in 19:10. And then you've guessed it. So the next step is 340 per kilometer and doing 5, 6, and then 7 reps of 340, and then 330 per kilometer. Once you get to 7 reps of 330 per kilometer, 60 seconds rep in between, then you can hit that 5K in 17:30 and you're in a great place. The final step to get you to that 16:40 is 320 per kilometer. So if you can hold 320 per kilometer, each rep times 5, then 6, then 7, you're in a really good place to be able to run 5K in 16:40. And what that means for you, a 5K runner in 16:30, and what it meant for me when I ran that, was all of a sudden I'm thinking, okay, I need to be able to hold this for double the distance and get my 10K time at around about the same time that I can hold for a kilometer times 10 of them. And that worked. And then I need to do exactly the same to be able to run a half marathon in 70 minutes. Exactly what happened. And then it's only a matter of training before I can do that twice and run a marathon in 2 hours 20. And I came short and run a marathon in 2 hours 21. But the methodology is exactly what I applied. So if you can apply that to the running that you're at the moment, if you're at 5 minutes per kilometer, 25 minutes for 5K, you can gradually move through the distances, and gradually is the word here, gradually move through the distances to get yourself to 22:30, then 21:15, then 20 minutes, and 10 seconds per kilometer lower than that each time. Then before you know it, you're at 17:30, and before you know it, you're at 16:40. And that speed work and being able to move over the ground efficiently and effectively is going to improve the rest of your running. So not only are you going to see the benefits in your interval running and in your 5K time, but you're going to be more effective in your long run. You're going to be able to run your recovery runs and easy runs at a faster pace for the same low effort. And then you're looking at a completely different athlete. Okay, so that is exactly the same method that I used to go from running a 5K in 25 minutes to running 5K in 16 minutes 40. Where are you at the moment? Are you at 25 minutes or beyond there? And what is your dream 5K time?